What is up, guys? Brad Mill here, bringing you guys another ORAS OBA Wi-Fi battle. This is actually week 10. I do apologize. Last week we actually did not have a OBA match because my opponent apparently basically forfeited his season, so anybody that goes against him gets a free win. So last week we actually did pick up a 1-0 victory by default. This week we're going to be going against the San Jose Salamences. So if you are hyped, please drop a like down below. Also, if you are new, hit that subscribe button down below as well. Daily Pokemon content coming your way. Um, Going into this match, I'm just going to explain a few things. We did not have a match last week, so by default, we got a 1-0 victory over my opponent, the New York Vanillexes. They basically forfeit their whole season because they do not want to do the league anymore or something. I don't know. They do not respond or something. Basically, going into this match, I did look at everything. We are currently number 5, I think. We are currently number 4 or 5 on the overall league standings with a plus 11 differential. So these last few weeks here are really going to be coming down to the wire. Going up to week 14, we have 4 weeks left at this point. We can lose 2 more times and still be going into playoffs. It's all going to come down to differential. So we need to really shape our stuff up going into these next few weeks. Gonna have to really go 110% into these next few weeks because that's how really big the matches are. Not saying I'm going to be losing anything anymore or anything like that, but this match was very, very good as well. Very, very good match. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had a really, really good type advantage against my opponent's draft in this match. A few threats my opponent did have. He actually did have the draw count, which buys a lot of my draft as well. However, my Jolteon, my Mega Scissor, and Sylveon really, really shut down a lot of his draft. So that is why I brought those three this weekend, and along with Stealth Rocks. I definitely need Stealth Rocks for this match, so that is why I did bring the Heatran this week with the Stealth Rock. Also could have brought the Cofagrigus because he did have the possibility of bringing a lot of things that could have been walled by it. Really surprised that my opponent did not bring Brunzong, which is a solid Sylveon counter. A lot of his drafts actually weak to Fairy as well and gets really, really bodied by Sylveon. So I'm really surprised he did not bring the Brunzong, which could have possibly set up screens and actually set up its own rocks. That did a decent amount of work to my team. And also surprised he did not bring the Claydol, which actually hard shuts down Jolteon. Barring Hidden Power Ice, but if he is special defensive, it is a 3 KO, so that with the light screen up, it's not really going to be doing too much. So I'm really surprised my opponent did not bring the Brunzong or the Claydol to this match. My opponent has actually been bringing the Togetic with actually the Nasty Plot Baton Pass last few weeks back, so I kind of went into this match predicting that as well. I knew he was going to be bringing the Mega Slowbro, even though it gets fully bodied by a Mega Scissor. I knew as well that the team I did put together for this match only has 2 physical attackers, being my Mandibuzz, which after I knock an item off, knockoff isn't going to be doing that much physical damage. I do have the U-turn as well, but U-turn isn't going to be doing too much as well. So basically my 100% physical threat for this match. Everything else except Heatran with Earthquake is my physical move on that. Everything else though is special. So once my Mega Scissor goes down and there's a special wall on his side, that's going to be a little bit troublesome. So I had to keep careful for that as well. Mega Scissor puts in a lot of work as well with the Stealth Rocks being up. One shots a lot of the things, basically like Gengar after Stealth Rock. There's a possibility of one shotting with Bullet Punch. 2 shots the Togetic. Pretty much 2 shots the Slowbro, even defensive. Does a lot of stuff as well. Bringing the Heatran this week with the Stealth Rock, Lava Plume, Taunt to shut down the Slowbro, the Togetic, and the Cradily if you want to bring it, and along with the Bronzong. Taunt really shut down a lot of his draft as well because he relies a lot on setup and stuff like that on his team. So Taunt, Heatran definitely coming this week. Taunt, Lava Plume, Earthquake, just to get some decent damage out on something. Possibly the Brunzong, which I was prepared for, depending if it was Levitate or Heat Proof. And I got the Lava Plume, Earthquake, Taunt, and Stealth Rock on that. Bringing Meowstic, making its debut. Meowstic actually running 2 choice Scarfers on this team as well. Bringing the Meowstic with Timid, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, with the Hidden Power Ice for the Salamences. The Salamences, I know there's one other thing that was weak to Ice on his team as well. Bringing for the Salamences, Hidden Power Ice, Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, and Psy Shock. I outspeed the Gengar when I'm Choice Scarfed, and I actually do one-shot the thing, so that's very, very big. Thunderbolt does decent amount to the Chogetic. That it does a lot of coverage moves, so I need to come in, kill something, and get right out as well. Debating whether a utility set would have been better for this match as well, but I decided to run the Choice Scarf because the utility set with Thunder Wave, possibly Yawn. I was thinking about running it maybe Thunder Wave, Toxic combo, or I could have ran screens for this match as well. But it gets really, really bodied by Gengar. That's the really reason I did not bring a utility Meowstic to this match. Choice Scarf Sylveon. Choice Scarf Sylveon really, really put in a lot of work. It's super effective on his Terrakion, super effective on the Kieran Black. It buys a lot of things on his team. Also does a lot of, I know he had some other stuff too that really did a decent number too. Bring the Moonblast, the Wish, just because I need to Wish up, Psyshock, and the Shadow Ball. Jolteon this week with the Life Orb. Debating whether I was supposed to run Sash or Life Orb, but I kind of debated he could have possibility of getting some Stealth Rocks, so the Focus Sash would be a little bit useless. So I'm running the Life Orb. With the Life Orb, it gives me the possibility of actually one-shotting most of his Mons. Without the Life Orb, though, it would come very, very close to one-shotting most of his Mons, even after Stealth Rocks, so that's why I did run the Life Orb. Running the Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Shadow Ball, kind of self-explanatory. Mandibuzz, Max Defense, Max Special Defense, Knockoff, U-Turn, Defog, in case he sets up his rocks, and Roost for recovery. And bringing the Mega Scissor, Adamant, Max Attack, Max Speed. Scissor he has a lot of slower Mons on his team. Scissor being base 75 and max speed outspeeds a lot of those Mons as well and hit really, 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 really hard. Especially against the Mega Slowbro, which is a huge threat if it does set up on me. So that's really what Scissor was there for. And then it really does work to Gengar when it's a little bit low. Bullet Punch puts in a lot of work against most of the stuff. It pretty much one-shots the Terrakion after Stealth Rocks as well if he would have brought it. U-Turn, X Scissor, Bullet Punch, Iron Head. We're going to hop right into this match. Now, I do apologize, guys, for the long intro, but this is a very, very good match. Going into this, I'm going to leave my U-Turn because I needed my Stealth Rocks up ASAP. My top priority. I was also debating whether to run with or lead with Jolteon since he did not have a ground type. He's going to lead with his Cradilly. I'm going to set my Stealth Rocks right here. He's going to predict Stealth Rock. If it would have went for Loudplume right here and actually got the burn, that would have been very nice, but Stealth Rock's my #1 priority. He goes up to Salamences here. By him going into Salamences, it kind of makes me think he does have the Earthquake. I'm going to switch right out here and go into Mandibuzz, predicting an Earthquake. He's going to predict me to switch out, so he's going to go for the Dragon Dance here. I was like, holy shit, my opponent's setting up turn 2 right here, so definitely need to do something about this because at +2, there's only a slight chance my Meowstic can outspeed and actually kill with a Hidden Power Ice. So, Mandibuzz being a complete beast right here. He actually has Life Orb as well, which knocking off this Life Orb did help. Not quite sure if with the Life Orb, something could have happened to my Scissor in the next few turns here, but Mandibuzz basically useless at this point. I'm going to switch out here. He is locked into Outrage. I'm going to take this opportunity and go into my Sylveon here. Bad thing about this, though, is he does not get confused right here, which I kind of predict him to get fused, but he actually gets the 3-turn Outrage, no confusion. Kind of sucks. I'm going to predict an Earthquake here. Earthquake or the Crunch. He doesn't go for the Earthquake. Does not affect me. But now I'm back in the same situation that I am. He can have no more Dragon Dances, and there's nothing I can absolutely do to him. He's going to go for the Dragon Dance. I'm going to U-turn out here. At this point, it was really, 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 really obvious he was going to try sweeping me right here. I had absolutely nothing for this thing. My Sylveon is Scarfed, but at +2, there's no way I'm outspeeding this thing, especially if he's max speed Jolly. That Earthquake pretty much takes me out since I'm not invested in defense, so there's no choice here, but I have to go into Meowstic. At +2, there is a slight chance of me outspeeding. However, it is actually, I'm pretty sure it was a speed tie. I did check into it afterwards. It actually was a speed tie, so he actually won the speed tie right there. I'm timid max speed, and he's actually +2, so pretty sure it was a speed tie. Going to get the Moxie, it's at +3 here. My last resort right here. If my Scissor would not have pulled through right here, he would have swept the rest of my team. That's how big of a deal this was. Really did not expect this from my opponent as well, setting up turn 2 and actually trying to sweep. Going for the Bullet Punch here, it had a chance to kill. We get a little bit of a low roll, barely kills. I I was like, okay, goodbye, Scissor. Scissor living on 12 from a +3 Salamence. Really, really surprised there, but since my Scissor does not carry Roost, I am at a little bit of a disadvantage here. He's going to go right into Slowbro. I don't know what he expected here. Maybe he was expecting to outspeed. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he thought it was a bulky variant since I lived. I'm not quite sure as well, but I was thinking basically any time of the day, even if I'm not invested, Scissor outspeeds Mega Slowbro anyways. So U-turn going to hit super hard here. Judging by that though, it actually is a defensive Slowbro, so we do know that. I'm assuming Cradillia at this point is actually special offensive to deal with my Jolteon as well. Gonna go into Mandibuzz here, actually sack it off because I knew he was gonna go for the Scald. Was going to predict the Calm Mind and actually go into Jolteon, but it was a little bit too risky right there. Jolteon was a very, very key part into actually in this match. Going to go into my Jolteon right here. He has no switch in for this thing. If he wants to switch out, he can. I'm gonna go right for the Thunderbolt. He's going to go right into Creatively here, which I know this thing is actually special defensive now, the way he's actually switching it in on my Jolteon. Thunderbolt does absolutely nothing to this, so it is special defensive Creatively here. Going to predict Stealth Rock here. Going to go for the Volt Switch on this next turn. We do find out he actually has leftovers as well, which is good information to know. Going to go for the Volt Switch, get a little bit chip damage off. I do take some Life Orb recoil in return. Not quite sure how much that matters. But I'm going to go U-turn right out here, take a big risk. If he would have went for the Rock Slide or Giga Drain or just something simple, my Scissor would have been gone. He does go for the Stealth Rock though, which I kind of predict him to do because my Mandibuzz is gone now, and I have no way to get rid of rocks. So that gets residual damage on my Jolteon, plus Life Orb damage, so it's very good for him. Knew he was going to go for the Stealth Rocks, get my Scissor in. Right here, I go for the X-Scissor. Since he's not defensive, X-Scissor actually would have killed from that range. I'm adamant max attack, so it would have killed. He's going to go to Slowbro. I'm not quite sure if he's going to try stacking the Slowbro here to get a free switch into something else. Not quite sure. But X-Scissor does max of around about 52%. So taking it out from that range. I'm going to go out to his Gengar here. It was a roll if Bullet Punch would have killed. We do get a little bit of a low roll here, which kind of does suck. But Shadow Ball is going to take me out. Another thing I was actually fearing was Choice Scarf Gengar. Choice Scarf Gengar actually does outspeed my Jolteon, which was a little bit of a problem, so I take a big risk here. Assuming this thing is not Choice Scarfed. But at the range I am at, I can eat up a Shadow Ball and barely live. But if he was Choice Scarf, I probably would have went down to Life Orb anyways. So he's actually going to switch out here. Could have predicted that. I could have predicted, but I actually go for the Shadow Ball here. Just make the neutral play. I knew he could have stayed in. He could have switched out, so... get actually snag a crit right there, which not quite sure how much it matters, but it does a decent amount. At this point, he's either going to go for the Earthquake or he's going to recover at this point. So I have to Volt Switch out here again. Jolteon not looking too good with the Life Orb and the Stealth Rock damage racking up upon it, which kind of sucks. But I'm going to switch out here, go into my Heatran. At this point, I have nothing for this thing except my Heatran. If he would have had the Earthquake or the Earth Power, I would have been in a little bit of trouble. He does go for the Recover here, though, which is kind of predictable. I do have the Taunt for this thing. I'm not quite sure if he knew that I had the Taunt or not on this Heatran. Right here, I'm actually going to go for it because I know he's probably going to go for the Recover eventually again. I wanted to eventually Taunt this thing. He's actually going to withdraw here. I'm just going to go for the actually Lava Plume right here. I wanted to get this thing a little bit lower, but eventually going to try taunting that Cradillia as well. He's going to go right out into his Togetic here, which is perfect for me because Togetic's base 40 speed, Heatran's base I think 78 speed, so I'll speed this every time of the day. So going to go for the taunt here. He cannot Roost, which he does go for right here. No Roost now, so when he comes in again, he's going to be taking more Stealth Rock. He's at around about half now, so Jolteon pretty much kills it no matter what. So as long as I keep Jolteon around, that thing's dead. He's going to go right out into his Cradillia here. No reason for me not to click Lava Plume. So, my watch went off. Get the burn here, which I really did need to window the thing down. So I was hoping for the burn. We did the Lava Plume, so we get the burn, I guess. Still wondering if this thing actually had Earthquake. We do see two of its moves, which were Recover and Stealth Rock. Judging right here, though, he does not have any Earth Power or Earthquake on this thing. Stone Edge is probably the best thing he can do, and I'm assuming he probably has Giga Drain as well. So we completely wall this Cradillia. to the sun and back, basically. We would just completely wall this thing. So Heatran's going to stay in here. There's no reason for me to switch out at this point. I'm going to slowly dwindle this thing down. I'm going to go for the Lava Plume again right here. If he wanted to switch out, he could, but he's going to be taking more damage. He has nothing that really wants to deal with this thing. Stone Edge, going to go for it again, does not do as much. The one before this actually, Stone Edge, was actually a crit, so that's why I did do a little bit more the last time, but Leftovers actually go off first, which I knew I outspeed this thing actually anyways. Crater Lake gone from burn, so that means my Jolteon can Volt Switch and actually Thunderbolt a few more things freely. Don't have to deal with that anymore. Gives him free switch into Gengar here. I thought he was going to be dead to rocks, but he barely lives on about 1 HP. He actually goes with the Dusty Bond. I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, is he going to go for the Dusty Bond? I really didn't think he had it. I'm just going to go for Lava Plume. I could have went for the Taunt, which probably would have saved my Heatran, in all honesty. Which my Heatran could have been one of the things that could have really did a lot more work in this match towards the end. He's going to go right out on his Togetic here. I have no reason not to go out into Sylveon, because after Stealth Rocks, Moonblast still does kill this thing. So, basically at this point he has his Kyurem and he has this thing yet left, and it's basically 2-2 at this point. So it's coming down to a very, very close match here. Going to go for the Moonblast. It is going to pick up the kill. I was like, holy shit, it's not even going to kill, and I was like, holy shit, it actually does kill. Okay, good. At this point, it was coming down to either if his Kyurem was Choice Scarfed or not. If he's not Choice Scarf, I win at this point because Moonblast kills from this range. Moonblast did around 85 to 92%. What the hell? He's Choice Scarfed. So that he actually gets a high roll right here. I actually calculated, and the max it does is around about 75%, or it does. I think it's 70. I think it's around about 75 to like 80 some percent. So he actually did get a high roll right there. Kind of sucks. Because I probably could have killed that thing if he did not get a high roll. I do live here, it doesn't matter though, because Jolteon cannot do anything to this thing. Then I'm going to die to Life Orb Recoil anyways, since I'm so low. Para out, the Para would not have mattered right there, so. Basically, Kyurem Black, Choice Scarfed, won him the game, but we brought it down to a 1-0, so I'm not quite sure how much this is really going to affect us. It'll put us back down to a 10 differential, but since we got down to a 1-0, I'm not going to be too salty about it because there was a chance of him bringing a Choice Scarf Kyurem just for my Sylveon. I did see him bring that as well, which was one of the possibilities, but I really did not see it 100% him bringing it. I more really thought him actually bringing the Bronzong just to hard counter Sylveon. That's really what I saw him bringing, but he did not bring that. So we're actually now 6-4, which kind of sucks. Like I said earlier, we can get 2 more losses and still make it to playoffs, but it's going to be a matter of who gets wins, who gets losses these next 2 weeks here. We have 4 weeks left of the season until playoffs, which is going to be, these last few weeks are going to be very, very nerve-wracking as well. We're going to be going against these South Carolina Skeptiles, which have an insane draft next week. Not looking forward to going against them as well, but going to definitely have to put a shitload amount of work into next week's preparation just so we can pull out a win. We're on a very, very bad losing streak. I don't know what happened. We've been doing good since around about week 7 or 8, and then we completely went down. So going to try turning around next week. I know I keep saying this every week, but it does not happen. But if his Kyurem was not Choice Scarf, we would have won this match. So I'm not going to really be too hard on myself. It was a matter of what he did bring. And props to my opponent for bringing Choice Scarf Kyurem and win him the game. Then again, it is a 1-0, which shouldn't do too much to our differential. It depends if my opponent actually in number 6 position on the rankings as well wins his match. I'm not quite sure if he gets a decent differential. I'm pretty sure we're in front of the person behind us by like 5 or 6 still. So we shouldn't be too much. We should stay around about the same spot. Definitely going to have to be putting in some hard preparation in these next few weeks. We got the South Carolina Skeptiles next week, and after that we actually go against the Roaring Shadow, which is I think the number 2 team overall right now. So definitely some hard matches coming up. Definitely some challenging matches coming up in the next few weeks here. Then you got the Spring City's Fire Foxes, which are very, very good, and the LAS Algor for last week. So season's wrapping up, guys. Not quite sure what I can tell you, but I'm going to try putting 100% 10% into next week's preparation. Hopefully we can come out and pull out a win. Going to actually put together a new scissor set as well, because my opponent's team does I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to bring Scissor next week, actually, because it gets really walled by a lot of my opponent's draft. But other than that, though, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit that like button down below to support your Grassy with Raikous. Hopefully we can get a win streak next week back up. 2 more losses we can get, so as long as we get 2 more wins, we're pretty much guaranteed for playoffs, as in my opinion. Then again, it's all going to come down to differential and wins and losses and stuff like that, and who wins and who loses. So other than that, though, hopefully you guys enjoy. Hit that like button down below if you did enjoy this, and subscribe if you are new. I'm going to get out of here. See you guys next time. Peace.